Good afternoon, gents, or good morning, or good evening, or good night, wherever you are. T here, MaxAlgo. We have 3 people, so maybe that might be us. But appreciate you coming on. Just bear with me while I just get everything, make sure everything's running in the right order. Get a few more on before we get started, guys. We'll be with you shortly. Let's get that on the Discord, on X. Clean my screen up before Zoom kicks off, because it will kick off. An echo. Okay, let's see. Is that any better on the echo? James, appreciate the feedback. Pardon the pun. Okay, perfect. I think I put double mics on then, I don't think that was helping. You will have to excuse today the terrible music. I can't sit in silence, and unfortunately, YouTube keep blocking videos in certain areas due to whatever music I'm playing, so I've had to put royalty-free crap on. It's funny what you find if you search for royalty-free crap. Okay, so obviously there's a few of you here. There's only 8 of you, but I appreciate you coming on. My goal for a little bit today was really to talk a little bit about the boot camp that we're launching. Obviously, it's mostly hosted by Zoo, but the boot camp that we've been putting together, and why, if you're not already signed up, why you should, and what the kind of thing that we'll be looking at on there. Really, mainly just to look at LazyBoy and the core values that come with the boot camp and how that is going to get you profitable. Hey, Dean. Pickles, my man. Nice to see you. Okay, so yeah, just first of all, I'm just going to have a quick glance over where we are up to now. Anyone had some good trades? I see some good trades in the Discord this morning. seen one on Aussie Dollar, LazyBoy setup that made me very happy. I'm so pleased. Happy New Year to you all, by the way. But I'm so pleased. Zoo and I were talking the other day, just listening to the chatter and the talk and the Discord, and how people have sort of really taken to LazyBoy and the adaptations of LazyBoy and the other indicators, because obviously it's not all just about LazyBoy and just a quick and easy setup. It is all about the whole suite of indicators. But listening to the buzz and seeing you guys passing challenges is amazing, and that's probably the bit that I've got most joy out of over the last sort of few weeks and months, has been seeing people who have not managed to pass a challenge. Aaron in the group, I think it's pronounced Aaron. Apologies if I've got that wrong. But just 3 years without passing a challenge, and then passes with MaxAlgo, and that's just that kind of stuff is exactly the kind of stuff that we want to hear. It just makes us realise that the whole point of what we were doing, obviously, we're doing this. It's to trade, to be better traders, to help people be better traders, to have a business. You know what I mean, we're all here to do what we can for our families, and we'll make no bones about that. But we wanted to do it in a way that we could do something for other people as well, and listening to people getting more out of it from that is amazing. So, a couple of things. Firstly, obviously we have got an offer running, and if you haven't already entered, please do enter. We have got some free lifetimes. Go on MaxAlgo's X post. There is a post there. Go share, like, comment, get that done. Get yourself into the draw for free lifetime access. As a few people who have done that before and won will attest to, it's been pretty life-changing for them in their trading, and how they've managed to improve what they've been doing and take some sort of significant steps forward from where they were, which they previously weren't able to do. And secondly, the bootcamp launches tomorrow. We spent a lot of time on this, on what's the best way to help people, to guide people to MaxAlgo, to give them an understanding of what we do, and the simplest and most sort of constructive way of doing it, rather than just everything. Because when you're given a suite of sort of as many indicators as we have included with MaxAlgo, then it can be a little bit overawed and understanding everything all at once. And what we want to do is just give some simplicity with a couple of easy setups, some basic understanding of the indicators, and being able to sit there and go, okay, this is enough to get me profitable. This is enough to have me start passing challenges, and then let's move from there. And I think any of you who are going to join us on that, you will find that that's exactly where we are. So, so I'm just going to have a quick glance over the charts first of all, before I start going into LazyBoy and a little bit of back testing as well, if that's okay with you guys. Obviously, if you hear, Zoo does things slightly different to me, and he's a better trader than me for a start, but this is not strictly as what he would normally do. I just wanted to sort of come on, have a chat, and a little bit of analysis, and then let's go through LazyBoy and the kind of things that LazyBoy you're going to see on a base level when you go on to the bootcamp. If you haven't signed up, get signed up. On that note, just while you're there, then I'm just going to put that in the... Hey Mark, nice to see you. Happy New Year. Just going to put that link in here in a minute. Let me pin that, you swine. It's not going to let me pin it. Okay, so it's there in the chat, and I'll update it as well. Right, we'll go into it in a bit more detail in a minute, but this is exactly what really I don't want to see. So let's just go in fact, just before we go into that any further, I'll explain why I don't want to see that anymore. But this is a directional change here. This is the algo flipping, and this is exactly what we don't want to see for a LazyBoy. Now, my guess in looking at this anyway is that the algo wouldn't have been in line here after this push anyway, and it's not broken these lows here, so I'd expect that the algo at this point would probably still be bullish, but I'll check that now. First of all, just going to have a quick scan over. So NQ, I'll leave you there. You don't look nice whatsoever. 60%. Nope. Okay, so I have missed that, but that is... Let's check what the algo is doing at that point. Right, so we had a sell signal with probability 72.40, but it was a bullish. Okay, fine. So now if we're staying clear of that, let's come out of the replay. Okay, so just a little bit of an overview first of all. MaxAlgo isn't just LazyBoy, as people. There's a few of you here who probably probably all the same people, and I'm going to be preaching to the converted, as they say. But I think it's good for me to just go over. As I said, I want people to understand the basics of what will be in the boot camp, and there is a lot in there that has been put together. However, the LazyBoy side of this, and one of the reasons to go into the boot camp and to master, obviously, is to get access to be able to use those indicators, to be able to use LazyBoy in the right way. LazyBoy being just a base level strategy. There are people in our Discord, very good, solid traders, helpful people who have sort of amalgamated their trading strategies and put together their own like slight tweaks on what would be a base level of LazyBoy, which is great. It's one of them I'm looking at the moment. One of the back tests have been put in there that I actually think goes in with ours, makes it slightly better. So all that work is appreciated by me and Zoo. We do go through these things and we are analysing and understanding what it is. So just the LazyBoy originally, and like without any of the edits or anything like that, was all understanding this sort of first period of each hour. Now that doesn't mean it can be just an hour, because it can't. You could pick your time period as 2 hour, 4 hour. You could pick the DR. As I know, Zoo over Christmas just did a little bit of a session on that with just literally picking out that time period. But that's what it allows you to do, is pick out a time period and look at take the high and low of an early part of that, and then look at where the likeliness and high probability is of price breaking based on confluences around it, i.e. number one being the algo, as we see down here. So yeah, so I am only, let me get rid of that. We're only really right now talking about the basic level. So that first 10 minutes, here we're looking at a high and a low on the first 10 minutes, and you'll see obviously at that period we've had a break of that and we've had a sell signal. Now, the idea here is that these need to line up with what the algo is telling us, and at this point here this was strong bullish. As I said, I was kind of expecting that due to this rather larger move, sort of increase here. We've been breaking highs, failing to take lows, and it gets to the point where yes, it has dropped. However, we haven't taken any of these lows down here, for it to have flipped. So current probability has still been strong bullish, 74%. So these early sell signals and the sell signal is not what we would be looking for on a LazyBoy. What you're looking for on a LazyBoy, so I'll just give you an example. It's not got the Algo one. That's fine. Be nice and easy. Come on, slow ass. %60. We've got any current? Bullish. What's Crude doing? That might help us. No, we just said strong bullish still. Look at yes. Okay. Gold is dropping like a stone. Probability wasn't high enough, unfortunately, on gold. Sell signal. No. Okay. Let's just use this current run as an example. Anyway, so the idea being is that the algo is over 70% to give us a higher probability that the trade will play out. So if we're looking at the current gold run, I'm only going to, I know the algo is not 70%, but we're just going to save searching for one. We're looking at a high and a low, and looking for, I'm going to say roughly around 44 minutes, which is, I know I'm on gold, but on Nasdaq that would be a standard time, and I'm just coming up with a little bit more of an accurate run on that based on, yes, we've got this on the hourly segments on probability, but there are obviously percentages of the more trades playing out or more trades going to BE and you're losing on sort of commissions and things like that. So obviously there is a slight tweak on that, and it will be slightly different for gold. But candidly, I haven't done as much of the back testing on gold yet, so I'm just going to use this as an example. However, so $10 minutes. At any point I'm getting the signal, whether it be in that first 20 minutes, if my algo is over 70%, obviously here it's, as we said, it's not quite, but if that is 70% plus bearish, then at basic level all I'm doing is I am looking for, at the point of that, is for the price to retrace to the 50% line. The price retraces to that 50% line. Just extend this out. I'm setting a limit order at the 50% line, and I'm looking to go for 1R at a very basic level. Now, obviously at the point of it not, and price still coming down, so we've had a sell signal, so this is would still be saying it's bearish. The price would still be coming down, so that high and low of that hour continues to drop, which also means at that point, let's just move this across, 44, and you are following this, and that means your limit order is moving with you up until the point that your retracement hits the 50%. So obviously in this instance that hasn't happened. So let's just go back to one that's got a little bit more movement. Okay, perfect example. So we get a signal here, and then we've had, just zoom in, so we've had an early buy signal, and then we're waiting for a 50% retracement. Now before that 50% retracement, we've also had the normal buy signal, adding more confidence to what we're doing, which is great. And then we continue to wait, move with that high until the point, I'll move this up to 44 minutes, till the point that we get enough retracement that it hits the 50% retracement mark, and then we'd enter our trade. As you can see here, it does. So we'll pop it in here. So we're then looking for 1R, and we're looking to break this high. Probability says that we would take a new high as long as the probability doesn't drop in the hour, and that's why we don't take any trades after the sort of 44th minute on there. So this was at 34, obviously gives you less time, and then we're looking for it to take that, obviously to take this high before it takes that low, and that's the basis of the base level LazyBoy. Now obviously there are other variations of when you would enter. I know one of the main ones in the Discord at the minute is that people are waiting and not looking strictly for a buy signal. They're looking for the 20-minute mark and retracement based on the algo being up at 70% and one of a couple of the confluences, whether it be dynamic TP, which obviously, as you can see, this coming up to the 0 line, it's gone blue. Definitely, it's going bullish. You'd be hoping at that point there that it's going to go up to the 0 line, which is again is exactly what happens, and you get this push. So we're looking for it to take that, which obviously before the end of the hour, that is exactly what it does. So they're the base sort of level rules. You're waiting for a signal. You want at the point of the signal, you want the algo to be over 70%. You also want the algo to be over 70% at the point of retracement. So you'd still want it to be over 70% as it comes down here. Now if that drops to 40% as it comes here, you are not taking the trade because it becomes less high probability. As I mentioned, there are other confluences, and that's where you may look at that slightly different if you have other confluences, i.e. dynamic TP, trend AI on your side. If you get to, and obviously this does hit, but if you get to the end of the hour and you're looking for, and you're still looking for that trade to hit that take profit, you need to move your stop loss off and reduce your risk. There's very often more volatility at the end of that. On the start of a new hourly candle, you get that little bit of a move either way, which can have an impact on your overall success rate when it comes to LazyBoy. So we always advise to get the best results, you go BE at the 59th minute. Or if you are in drawdown, obviously you're not anywhere near take profit, but you bring your TP down to break even either way. So one way or another, you're pulling it down or you're going up. That's it. So it can go on to profit, it can lose, but you're trying to reduce your risk to a minimum. So a quick scan over. Now with this, we are running, this works across the board. This works in stocks, this works in indices, this works in, you name it, it works in it. You've just got to have a system, you've just got to have a process, and you've just got to be vigilant and stick to it. And I know that's in trading, it was one of my biggest issues, is that sort of not chasing trades, not always looking for that trade. You've got a strict rule set. You follow that process. If things line up, great. If they don't, then you don't take it. The advantage you do have is, because this works across multiple pairs, futures, etc., then you have the opportunity to look at any point in the day, whatever you do for a living, because I know 99% of you are not going to be full-time traders, because if you are a full-time trader, you probably know what you mean. But 99% of you are not going to be full-time traders, and you're going to have other jobs. And what this allows you to do is dip in and dip out and say, right, okay, do you know what? I've got an hour or two. I've got a lunch hour, or I'm going to trade this evening. Like New York to us, when New York opens, is sort of middle of the afternoon. It's not always ideal. Like I work from home. I've got children, schools, all those things. So it's not always ideal. However, LazyBoy works beautifully on London session in the morning and through Asia. So there's absolutely no reason why, wherever you are in the world, you can't take that bit of time to look on and say, right, I've got an hour or two. I'm going to jump on and I'm going to see what the market's doing now and see whether it gives me a LazyBoy setup. I wish the Algo had a setup for that one. That's a lovely drop. Okay, so just going to have a scan over. See how YM's doing. Sell signal and bullish. Staying out. What time though? 1:48. So we're all done on LazyBoys for this hour anyway. Okay, so as I said, there are a number of different, and Mark's going to shout at me because I'm still not using this sheet, and I should probably be using this sheet. However, I've been going through November, December for LazyBoy, and it's fabulous. There are sort of connotations of news that we need to be careful of. For anyone who is trading it, just stay away from unemployment. I know you wouldn't normally trade high volatility news around that time anyway, but my advice at the moment is unemployment, even within a few hours around it, the losses are much more significant in those times. There is times when you're getting sort of 4 losses in a day, and that's not really heard of any other period other than when sort of unemployment or FOMC. So I would be very cautious around unemployment or trading on, especially on Nasdaq. That's the only one I'm quoting that for at the minute, but I would be very cautious trading Nasdaq at all on days where unemployment claims are coming out. Yeah, so I've been going over these individual trades, early signals, late signals, when they've come together, including news, on news days, just to really get a feel for not just the percentage of percentage success rate, but also the impact that certain things have. Obviously, what you're not seeing here is all the other confluences, and we don't want to over confuse it when it comes to dynamic TP and trend AI, and whether it's above or below the zero line, and all these other things that we would start to look at to try and give you a definitive, finite, high probability setup. The important bit here is that you can run over 70% success rate, over 70% with a base level LazyBoy strategy. That's without all the other confluences. That's without trend AI being in line. That's without dynamic TP. And these are powerful indicators. The powerful indicators that give you the opportunity to look and say, look, well, this is bullish. I mean, just look at this. It's bullish all the way. And just on its own, it's opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Once the algo aligns, that you can see this very, very bullish on trend AI. You can see that dynamic TP has gone above the zero line. So there are numerous other confluences that we would include in this. And as you come on board, you go through the boot camp, and we think it's a good sort of funnel for you to get that base level knowledge with the MaxAlgo indicators. One of the things that we're going to spend a lot of time on this year is adding those other confluences within the strategies, so that it's not just a base level strategy. But the point I'm making really is that even at a base level, even at an absolute bare minimum, you can run a mechanical strategy that's running on real-time data, not 10-year-old, 20-year-old data that hasn't done the same thing since 2004, or those particular setups stopped running at 2014. None of that matters. All this runs around current price action. This is all around the current time and making sure that you have an actual understanding of what's going on now within the market, and rather than historically what used to happen. So it's taking price action now and giving it high probability based on current market actions. So I'm ranting on a little bit, but I'm on my own, and I really struggle just talking to a screen. So I've just got this light and the people. There's still 14 of those, so I'm quite impressed that if any of you stick around for my rambling. So LazyBoy, and for any of you who are listening that aren't in the boot camp, get on the boot camp. You know what I mean? If it's for you, if you don't like it, if you spend some time and it's not for you, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, we totally understand that it's not for everyone. But the challenges that I found with trading, and I know that Zoo found as well, is the mindset game is such a difficult part of it. I've blown so many accounts. I've screwed up on so many payouts on chasing trades, or I think one of the biggest issues I have always, especially used to have as well, was you almost fit your strategy into the current price market and say, right, okay, well, that particular setup looks like this, or yeah, do you know what, that would be that's an order block, or I'm going to go for that liquidity there, or whatever it might be. And half the time, what you're doing is you're looking to find a setup, rather than looking at the market and the market saying to you, here's a setup. You're looking to fit your setups within what the current price is. And that was always the bit that I would find a way to trade. I'd find a way where, well, that looks about right, so I can take that trade. Whereas, I needed a rule set. Once I got a rule set, I was able to elaborate on that rule set. That allowed me to have other confluences that were maybe a little bit more ambiguous. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, I know that if I take these trades and at this base rule set, then I can get a 70% win rate. Well, on top of that 70% win rate, I can then add further confluence to know that actually those are my A-star high probability setups. And that's what really what we're trying to do with the boot camp, is to try and get people to have something a little bit more than just a another strategy. This is about having a system, it's about having a process, and then you've been able to build on it as you get stronger and more confident. And if you're already strong and confident and it's just the mindset game, then you may already have your strategy that actually this just gives you some base level rules that you can add to it, and allows you to take that step with it. So I think probably what the best thing for me to do is, what time are we on now? So I'm 55, so I'm just going to set up, I'm just going to do a bit of LazyBoy, why not? Let's go back to 1st of Jan. Right, my back test on December for Nasdaq, I have parked it at the end of the 23rd of December. From Boxing Day onwards, I think it's pretty. I'm not saying it can't be traded, because obviously it can, and some people have and done very well out of it. But realistically, I'm not advising anybody to trade, and I'm certainly not putting that Christmas 10-day period in my back test, because it's not something I would ever ever include it to be like the rest of the year. Excuse me. So, 1st December, sorry, 1st of January. Excuse me. I realised I've not done the trade, so I'm going to go backwards. Go backwards until the 1st of Jan. If you're talking about the, can I talk a little bit about how the probabilities work? Okay. In regards to the probabilities, my first suggestion would be that you're talking about the algo, and the algo is a complicated little beast, and it looks at current price action, and then it looks at all the previous data available through TradingView on how the market reacted in similar situations, and the probability of it, the probability based on those particular scenarios. Now, I can't give you exactly how the algo works, because obviously that's our baby, that's our little secret sauce. But what I will say is, the algo is a wonderful piece of kit. Join the if you're not already in the bootcamp, join the bootcamp. You see, your videos will walk you through exactly how the algo works, and exactly how to use it, whether you're using it with LazyBoy or with anything else. But rather than me sitting here repeating what the videos are going to say anyway, just go through, jump on the bootcamp, have a look. It's well worth. The algo is whatever trading style you have. It's talking about predicting. It's candle prediction. That's all it is. It's talking about candle prediction. What is the current probability of that candle finishing, closing bullish or bearish? And as you can see, this is the number of instances, and the percentage chance of it finishing corrected bullish. And this, obviously, you will get some movement on it, but the algo itself is a great piece of kit. I advise you, as I say, join the bootcamp, and come sit and watch the algo videos, and then integrate it with what you're doing already, and you won't be sorry. Okay, so the current hour is just finished. which is fine. Now, I will do this anyway, just so you can see what the process. However, as I mentioned before, even if the algo lined up for this buy signal, I ain't taking it, because we've had a flip here. We've had a sell, and then we've had an early sell signal and a sell signal, and then it's flipped bullish. On that, it means it's not high probability, so we stay out of it. At any point you see, and give you a perfect example, if these hadn't been a trade, i.e. the algo had been under 70%, and then all of a sudden you've got a buy signal here that is 71%, I still wouldn't be taking that trade. And the reason being is this has made it less high probable, because it has taken this low, and then it's taken the high at a later period. And if it's doing that, then it's more erratic. We're not looking for those type of trades. We're looking for that clean. It gives you an early signal, or it takes the high before it takes the low, and then you'll see that movement in the same direction. Small retracement, and then movement in the same direction. But let's just go in regards to percentages, just to see what I looked at. So I'm just going to speed through. So if I go quiet, and excuse me, royalty-free crap for you. Oh, first thing, if you are backtesting this, give you an example. In fact, let me just play through, and then I'll show you. Because people ask this question all the time on the Discord. Right, I want to know what the algo said at 12 minutes past 8. So what I can't do is click on it and go, well, at 12 minutes past 8, when I got a sell signal, it was 13%. And we'll just play through again so I get the sell signal. Just select that bar. Click on there, so I can see the sell signal, and it says 13.73%. That is incorrect. You have to play through. So you have to play through, because what this does is, if you select the bar, it will give you the probability for the hour, and that's just the way that it works. So you need to play through. So I'm going before it. I've got a couple of candles before, and then if I play through it, at the point you see that it actually was the same, so it just made me look a liar. However, you have to play through, because otherwise you will get anomalies, and you would need it to be what the actual, for it to be a fair back test, what the actual percentage was on the algo at that moment. And at the close of that candle, it was 13.57%, ironically. Which means it's 13.57% corrective bullish, which means it's bearish, because it's got a 86.5% chance of being bearish. Bearish, 44%, 44th minute. Sell signal, and what, as we said before, I'm waiting for the 50% mark. So if it doesn't break this, I want to take this and then come back and take that. Now if it takes that, sorry, if it doesn't take that and it's coming down, I'm going to drag this down, and I'm going to continue to move my limit order to go with it. Right, so I'm going to drag this down. It's just slow for you at the start. We've got a sell signal. The algo is still saying 13.57%, and at that point there we are in. Going short, and obviously I'm speeding through this. You'd be waiting. And I'm going to run that to 59, as I said, 59 minutes. I think this is pretty much a loss. It is, which is absolutely fine. So let's just mark that on, and we're going with both. I'll mark them both. And we're not taking the buy signal because it flipped. So just going to mark that one that we're not taking. I know this is not the easiest process in regards to, or the cleanest in regards to how you mark them up, but I am very visual, and that's how I like it. So that's just how I do it. So again, select bar. I'm just going to go back through these. Let's just check this one first. Buy signal, 90% strong bullish. Okie dokie. So just go back to the early, see if the early lines up as well. No. So the early signal doesn't line up because it's a lie. Yes, it does. Not a sell signal. "44 minutes. Ooh, down a bit. That taking us in. Yeah, that was taking us in. We've got a sell signal. Wasn't watching. Okay, so you'll see here, because it's a great example. So at the point that this candle's come back up to take us in, current probability's gone to 90% strong bullish. We're on a sell signal. So we are not taking that trade. We're absolutely not taking that trade. Now, if for any reason at that point you've got a limit order on, you want to get that limit order off because you've got a sell signal, so you're waiting for that 50% mark. But as that has started to retrace and you see that algo flip, you close that limit order. If for any reason you get taken in, then you get your BE on here and you get out, because that is no longer high probability. Now, it doesn't matter if it plays out or not. That's not the point. The whole point is that we're only looking for high probability setups, and we know that if we take the high probability setups, we can get an over 70% win rate with the mechanical strategy, and that's all that matters. So it doesn't matter if it's losing. So that is that trade itself. One second. We haven't taken it, and on that basis, it would have lost anyway, and you get a buy signal. So perfect, we didn't take that one. Right, let's check these. Right, 73% strong bullish, so that's good. So we just check the one before it, and then we'll do the setup. Right, we've got a buy signal, and it's 73% strong bullish. Okay, wunderbar. High and the low. Up to 44 minutes, so I can see. Limit order here. Stay with it. We've got a buy signal as well. An early buy and a buy, and current probability is still 73.5%. Moving, we might not get an entry at all. Obviously that 50% is moving with us. Just whether or not we get that retracement in time. I don't think we will now. In time for the 44 minutes, and no, we don't. So no trade, which is a shame. Next one. Sorry. tucked away. Okay, so we're still running. Decent probabilities, 73%. It's good. We already know it goes quite bullish, so buy signal, strong bullish, sequence 3, 235 pieces of data there, higher time frames bullish, strong bullish. Let's hope for a retracement to the 50% and go. So let's run this. 44 minutes. Stay with it. Obviously I'm running through this a lot quicker than what you're doing live. The buy signal as well. We are still bullish on the algo. Oh, there we go. So now we have your long. We are in. Let's see how she goes. Obviously we've got the trade running until 56. Let's just keep this to 59. Right, so now we're BE and we're out. It's a loss. In fact, let me just check something. Yeah, it didn't move, that's fine. Same again. Now, there are a lot of you in the Discord at the minute. I'm not teaching this. There are a lot of you in the Discord at the minute who will, if you're getting an early signal and you're on a sequence 1, sequence 2, strong bullish, high time frame bullish, the 2 hour is bullish, high time frame is bullish, or not looking for a 50% retracement, you're just going. And I understand why, because the algo at that level is pretty powerful. But for this, we just follow process. The buy signal. Not quite at the 50%. Oh, and we are in. To 59. Sorry, it's realising camera just looking at my chin. That's a bad habit, that. So let's play it through. And we have a win. So if you took the early or the normal. Ding 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 ding. Right, we've got the early signal here. Early buy, 94% strong bullish. Well, whether or not we should get retracement. Let's see if it keeps us in. You can see that got very, very close to breaking that low. So let's have a look. 44 minutes. Wait for retracement. Retracement, beautiful. I'm really trying to maximize this bullish move. And that now can run to 59 minutes, pending outcome. Let's see whether we get taken out though, because this does come down. Beautiful. Winner. Let's see how the let's go back again. Let's see how strong the Algo still is. It's only 50 there. Let's have a look. This is the start of the move, and you can see it's the start of the move because the Algo. Because Trend AI is going strong and light, strong and light, strong and light, which is showing that it's not quite in that full up move yet. Dean, to answer your question, yes, exactly that. If you, I'll do it for you here. If you're playing through, obviously I'm playing through a 10 speed, so I'll just slow it right down. To play it through, this is the same, and this is tested. This runs the same then as what the Algo would show you real time. So as you get this buy signal now, it's showing 49.53. Obviously the Algo doesn't move a lot on this one, which is probably not the best example. But anywhere I click there, it's all 49.53. Now, it will change 48, 49. That's pretty static on that. But yes, to answer your question, you have to click through it. If you're back testing it, you have to click through it. It can't be on the candle. It has to be at least sort of, it has to have moved to that candle rather than you have chose that it's on that candle, because it reads the price movement of that candle. It's only in 3 phases there, so it's only going to show you that it was like, it'll go down, up, down, wherever it was, wherever direction the candle went, but it will show you the Algo fluctuations within that move. So as long as, if the Algo has changed, you will see that within it. But if you click straight on it, then you're not going to see that. All you'll see is what the overall hour was. So it's not ideal, and it just screws your back test. So what probability do you exit the trade if it goes the other way? I notice it dropped to 50% during the last trade. Okay, so there is. It's a great question, by the way. There are other confluences that you would take into account if you were looking at LazyBoy and saying, right, I'm going to add other confluences to give an even higher probability trades, or to be able to reduce risk more. There are other things you could look at. Now, obviously, as I just mentioned, this becomes a problem. The dynamic Trend AI not being solid, Trend AI not having one clear direction. If the dynamic TP was under, or it was red, it was crossing below the 0 line, you can end up with more of a violent move. Or through the 0 line, you can end up with more of a violent move. I don't look at personally for this, and for this back test, would I be looking at getting out the trade because the Algo dropped under 50%? No. but only because what I'm trying to do is not give a subjective backtest. I want it to be mechanical, and it's where it drops. So the algo itself can fluctuate and will fluctuate based on current price movement. However, for this kind of backtest, we need to be able to look at it and say, right, okay, at this point, if it's this, then it's a yes, and if it's that, it's a no. Now, if you want to put in there and say, well, if it drops below 50% after 30 minutes or whatever, then I haven't backtested that candidly. But what I would say is, I'm not basing it on the algo dropping below until I've got more data on to say that. Then I wouldn't be able to answer the question. The only thing I would say is that I don't use that. Exiting the trade for me is it's either hit your profit or your stop loss, or you're getting to the end of the hour. If the algo, obviously, if the algo flips the other way and you're getting the sell signal, and when you were in a long, then you're already out. So it's basically around what we are. I am looking though in regards to the algo, but realistically, I haven't got data yet to say that if that then drops below 50% mid trade, would I look at getting out? Right now, no, not for this back test. And as I said, I haven't included that at all, and it's still running over 70%. So the further confluences that we can add, absolutely fine. But I think right now it's that's just where we are with it. British weather, vile today. It's cold, it's slushy, and now it's throwing down. Right into the buy signal. No. I don't think there was a buy and an early buy, but there was, yeah, but it's still 50%. No, not touching that. Next one. This is a sell. No, we're still at 50%. You start to see, because of this here, I'm not expecting one around here. 50%. Any back tests on Euro USD? I haven't personally. I think there might have been one on the Discord. It's just tweaking of settings as well. So 50%. Here we get a. I'm going to click this just to check whether the early buy is in. Right, so we get an early buy, but it's only 64% probability. We then get a sell. Irrespective of what that is, whether it's 99%, I ain't touching that now for a back test. That is it. That hour is over. Early buy, early sell. So the sell doesn't matter because I wouldn't be touching it. I'd only be looking at the buy to see whether that would have been a trade that would have lost. No, you don't need to have the complete, the top level. There's enough data on the other trading view plans for it to work fine. The statistics don't drop or change significantly if you're on the further data on TradingView, so I wouldn't stress about that. Early buy was only 46%, so no, we're not touching that session at all. Tell you what we haven't done, I'm just going to have a check. I'll see how I'm getting on. We're going to sell. 96% strong bearish. Ooh. Gold, not CL at all, it's gold. Okay, let's have a look. as before, just as we were doing the back test, the same on here. I'm just going to check that at the point of going through. So look, this is bullish. Now we're transitioning. Start to break lows. Broke this low. That last hour, that strong move down. First 10 minutes, we've got a high and a low. Where's mine? Oh yeah, sorry, apologies. That's the rest of the hour. So let's just see what it was. So it was 96% strong bearish at that point of the signal. So that is yes. And then at the point of entry, still strong bearish. Okay. Sequence 1 on the 2 hour as well. There's 33 left. So what we'd be looking for, come on T. Do I have a max stop loss distance where you don't get in if there's already been a big move that hour? No, I'm slightly more cautious if there has already been a big move that hour. However, I'm playing the data. So if there's been a big move but you're sat on sequence 1, sequence 2 and it's took that, it takes 50%, then if probability is playing it, then I'm still taking it. So let's see if this would have played out. Because as you rightly point out, once in, if the algo flips, do you get out? No. No. A similar question to what the gent before was asking about it changing, going below 50%. No, I don't. I am more cautious, but what I don't, I'm trying to keep coming on here. I'm trying to keep it completely mechanical. There are other connotations of what I would use. Like this here concerns me straight away. Obviously, we are under, but this is. You can see that the dynamic TP has sort of reached, it's extended, similar to what you were saying. We have this large move down, it crosses over the 0 line, and then you get that as it's coming across the 0 line, you get a big push right through here as it does. So I'm always looking that, like, if the algo would fit here, I am going to spend. I might go heavy on a trade like that if the algo sat here at 70-80%. And I can see this coming down, crossing the 0 line, and we're going through a transition, then you're starting to look at sort of payday setup of this nice move. The probability says that it doesn't take that. Probability says that it takes this. So that's where my limit order is. If it plays out, it plays out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll play probability. But as I say, I like, because this has gone bullish, 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 transition, weak transition, strong transition, bearish, and we're getting this sort of bearish, strong and light bearish here. That's where I'd be like, okay, I'm still expecting now this to take my take it here and come down. Now in theory, I could just move them in my order up with complete confidence, but I just want to play the process. Yes, I'm going to move that up. Still. Make sure this music's still royalty free before I get kicked off. Okay, so let's leave that there for a minute. %, no. Let's check on this one. Yeah, there was a buy. 50% still no. Previous hour. No. No, 50%. We're only looking for the algo over 70%. We want high probability moves. I'm not expecting any of them yet. Do take setups during New York market open, as in the current hour. I don't like taking them on Nasdaq. Is my honest answer. But it does depend on what system you're using, because the base level signals on that particular sort of half an hour period, an hour period, can be a little volatile. It's still profitable. It's just not as profitable. I think what we often find is that you end up with it flipping a couple of times. So there are trades there. I think a lot of the New York Open hour seems to work better if you are waiting. If you're waiting to get that first 20 minutes out of the way, rather than, I don't like early signals on the New York, because it kicks too close to the move and doesn't give enough room for it to sort of settle down and go in its direction. Right, I am going to jump off, guys, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back on in a bit. Let's see how that's played out when I come back, and we'll jump back on and I'll do a bit more of this LazyBoy if anyone wants to join me. It's that time of day. Kids, everyone sort them. Do the school run, and I will come back and see you all in a bit. Really appreciate it. Guys, if you're watching, and if you're watching and you're not in the boot camp, if you're already in MaxAlgo, don't join the boot camp. You don't need to join the boot camp. You'll get access to everything. We've always committed to that. Anything we have with MaxAlgo, if you are on, if you're already with us, then you'll get it. You'll get it. If you're not already a member with MaxAlgo, get on the bootcamp. It gives you a period of time where you can test it out. It's not going to cost you anything to test it out. It just means that you can sit there, can do some learning, spend some time on it, go through the videos, find out if it's for you, and then go from there. We don't get kicked off without even doing it. Okay, I will speak to you. I'll probably be an hour and a half. But yeah, I will speak to you in a bit. Cheers, guys.